Hi guys, I'm back to do a deck review. I want to show you the beautiful After Tarot. Now I don't have the box on me. It's by some woman by the surname of Corrine. I presume it's pronounced. Can't remember her first name. Um, she wrote the book. Some other fella came up with the idea. Again, name I can't remember. The box is elsewhere. But the artwork is by Julia F Massaglia, who is the artist who did the Golden Art Nouveau tarot. So there is a before tarot as well, right, by the same woman, Corinne. However, it's a different artist, so it's not as pretty. Julia's artwork is just incredible, and if you find her on Instagram, you'll see images of other decks she did as well. She's just the most incredible artist. So she's done the Rider-Waite-Smith justice, with the artwork being so close to the original. So I'm using it's the Tarot of A.E. Waite. Okay, this is the box. Now I don't have the box the other one, but this is the one. This is the regular tarot I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you it next to the original tarot. So this is the original one I'm using, Tarot of A.E. Waite. And then I'm going to show you the After Tarot. So I'll show you the two together, okay? So here we have the Fool. So this is the original Fool where he's walking along. He's at the edge of the cliff. He either knows and doesn't care, or he doesn't know what's about to happen. But here he is in the After Tarot, having fallen off the cliff. The dog is still there, trying to still warn him of possible, problems. His stick with his bag is falling, but he's busy sniffing the beautiful rose he was holding here. So he's still not stressed out, so it's like, take a chance on things. You might fall, but you can get back up again and start again. He could have just as easily have fell on a cushion and gotten up and carried on. So that's the Fool. And then we have the Magician. So here he is with all his tools on the table. Here he is, and he's making the tools, what's the word, levitate or something around him. You know what I mean? Everything else is more or less the same. There's a little bird here, right? The bird wasn't in this one, I don't think. But everything else is the same. He's still holding the wand up. The as above, so below, he's still doing. So that's the Magician. Then we have the High Priestess. And the only difference, I think, the colour's slightly different, but she's holding keys here. So that would kind of suggest to me that maybe she's thinking about unlocking the information for you, because normally the High Priestess is seen as the keeper of secrets. She's not going to tell you the answer to your question. She wants you to, the moon is about intuition. She wants you to use your own intuition to kind of figure something out for yourself. But here she has keys in her hand, so maybe she's going to unlock the answers for you, Here we have the Empress. Now the only difference in the Empress that I can see is that here we have, this is about, she's kind of seen as pregnant normally here. So it can be about either birthing a baby or birthing a new idea or a new plan or a new project or whatever, right? But here there's a swan and it's babies. So a birth has already taken place. Okay. Then we have the Emperor. The only difference with the Emperor is that there's now a real ram sitting in front of him instead of just the stone heads of the rams on the throne. Otherwise it's the same. Beautiful card. Then with the Hierophant, again, it's like the Hierophant is about to get into a class teaching, because here he's just holding this 3-cross thingy, whatever you call it, whereas here he has, sorry, it's on this side. Here he's doing the whole pointing thing, whatever it is. Here he's holding a book, an open book, to impart wisdom on the two boys. So that seems to be the only difference. Now there is slight changes in that here the keys are below, and here they're like up a step, kind of a thing, you know, small differences like that, but otherwise it's the same. And then we have the Lovers. Now, in the Lovers card, here you can see the bush behind with the apples on it, and you can see the burning bush here, and there's the serpent. Whereas here, the serpent is on the ground, and Eve is about to offer the apple to Adam. Oh, and the sword. The angel is holding a sword. The Lovers can be seen as having to make a choice, right? And I just learned last night on a video that if a sword is pointing upwards, if they're holding a sword up, it means they haven't made a decision yet. If a sword is pointing down or like stuck on the ground or whatever, it means a decision has been made. So obviously here, it being parallel to the ground means that they're still iffy. So because the Lovers can be about making choices, it's just that they're in kind of a stalemate. They haven't made a decision. That's the way I'd see it anyway. I only got the box or the deck in the tuck box, so I don't have the proper book. I didn't buy the kit, so I don't know what meanings she actually kind of, you know, put with the cards. Because the little white book that comes with it in the tuck box actually only describes what's in the image. It doesn't kind of give a theory to what it means. Here we have the Chariot. Now the only difference with the Chariot is that the two Sphinx are up on their feet ready to go. His wand, which is where? Oh yeah, he's holding the wand up here, but here he's just pointing it down as if he's kind of going, okay, you move, kind of a thing. It's like as if he's trying to control the Sphinx. Also, he's holding something in his hand. It does look, I've heard someone say, it does look as if he's holding a phone, as if he's has the sat nav on to figure out where he's going, which is kind of cool. The Strength card is beautiful. So here she was trying to kind of control the lion, whereas here she's hugging him, which is much nicer. Because it does look a bit brutal here. People often complain about the Strength card for that reason. The Hermit card, he has a staff and a lamp here, and here the staff has turned into a snake, and he also has actually I must find the name of that. The deck, the Forest of Enchantment, the Death card has something like this, but it's called the Shook or something like that. I have to figure that out. There's some deep spiritual meaning for this. I mean, I don't know, it looks like a black wolf or something, but there is some sort of really old-fashioned name for it in that deck. So I must ask someone what it is. I normally don't like the Wheel of Fortune. Anyone who watches my videos know that. But I actually like this After Tarot one. And I think it's just the muted colours that make it look old is why I like it. Now the only difference is, right, there's a snake here, whereas here there's a monkey. Now I do love monkeys anyway. I think they're the cutest things ever. Them and dogs and goats. But I'm wondering, is it because of the monkey, or is it just the colour, or is it both? I'm not sure. But it just appeals to me a bit more, you know. But otherwise the rest seems to be the same. Do you know what I learned one time too, right? See the way all the animals have open books? Well, there's a person, there's an angel, and then there's 3 animals, and they all have open books. But the symbolism behind that is that humans are the only animals on earth that learn from their mistakes. Animals don't. So it's like the wheel is constantly turning. Sometimes you're on top of the wheel and life is good. Sometimes you're underneath the wheel and you're being trampled on, right? But you learn from your mistakes and you move on and you don't make that mistake again. And that's the symbolism behind the angel and the animals with the open books, is about learning, you know. In the Justice card, which is pretty cool, because karma is a word that's often associated with justice. And here we have a king and we have a beggar. So it's like justice will always listen to both sides of the story before she decides who is in the right or who's in the wrong. Where's the sword? She's still holding the sword up. Yeah, she's holding sword up, we see in both of them, so she hasn't, like that, she hasn't made a decision yet. She's listening to both sides of the story. She's weighing up the options and she hasn't made a decision yet. So I like that. That's pretty cool. The Hanged Man is the same, but there is someone holding water up to his mouth in the After Tarot, giving him a drink. It's pretty. I like it. The Death card. Ugh, lads. My favourite card anyway. But look at this. There was a lot of thought and effort, lads, put into these cards, because in this one, now it's hard to see, but in this one there is a little boat here on the water, right? But in the After Tarot, which is, you know, a couple of seconds, minutes, whatever later, she had the sense to move the boat from here all the way into here. So it would have been here, whereas now it's in here. The sun, which was only coming up over the horizon, is now up in the sky. And the bishop, who was standing here, is now on the ground here next to the king. So they're both gone. Oh, and the little girl actually is gone too. This woman who was trying to resist it all is the only one left. So it's pretty cool. The detail that's gone into these cards is amazing. She is some artist. Temperance. Here, she was trying to put the water from one cup into another. Here, she's just pouring it out into the water, and a dove is flying off. The sun, which was kind of on the horizon, is sorry, the sun was up, but now it's going down in this card. And so you have the fabulous ripples and everything here from the pouring of the water into it. Pretty cool. The Devil. So the Devil is all about temptations, and here the two who are Adam and Eve from the Lover's card have given into temptation here. And you can see all these extra little gremlin type creatures in the background. And he was holding a torch down here, but he's holding the torch up now. The Tower is gorgeous. I love the scary cards that, you know, people don't like. Death is my favourite, but I love the Tower card too. Look at that, look. So the two that were falling out are now dead on the ground. The crown is on the ground, and the building is broken in half by a second or third bolt of lightning. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I love it. The Star card, lads, wait till you see this. She went for a skinny dip. Look at that, la. Also, there was a bird sitting on the tree here, and the bird is now after flying off. So they are the only differences in the Star card. The Moon card has the dog and the wolf have kind of separated a bit, and they're both now barking at this woman who's walking towards you in the card. I have to figure out what I think that means. I'm not sure. Like I said, it doesn't explain it in the little white book, so I have to figure it out myself. The Sun card is really cool. So the naked baby, as everyone calls it, is off the horse. The horse is gone, and there's two naked babies fighting over the flag. It's really cool. I like it. The Judgment card. So some people have given in to being judged, and they're lying rotted in the coffins, and some people are following their calling and they're being raised up. They're forgiving themselves for past mistakes, and they're allowing themselves to be resurrected. So that's cool. I love it. And the World. Now the only difference in the World, it's still a card I don't care much about, is that instead of the people and the animals, it's the four symbols of the suits. So that's the only difference there. Now, the Wands. So in the Wands court cards, we have a lizardy creature. They're all about regeneration and renewal and rebirth and things like that. So they've brought those animals into the aces for the minor arcana. Okay. The 2 has got himself a woman, so he's not alone on the whatever the word is, on the patio anymore. He has a woman to look out over his land with. The 3, so the 3, because he's waiting for his, because he's waiting for his ships to come in with information, right, on how his work so far has kind of been profitable for him. I would often see this card as kind of wait till the ships come in and get more information before you kind of decide your next move, you know. And here there's a bird coming in, so this bird is probably bringing a message. Sorry, I heard noise. I had to pause there for a second. The 4 of Wands. Here we have a celebration, and here they're in their horse and carriage and stuff, and they're moving off, probably going off on their honeymoon, I suppose. The 5 is cool. So the 5 of Pentacles is 5 young fellas fighting, sparring, competing, whatever you want to call it. It's not a major fight because they're not fighting with swords or anything, and no one's actually killing each other. They're only knocking sticks off each other. But here they're at a bit of a standstill. They're not fighting anymore. So I would see this as, say, if you were kind of competing for a promotion at work, then this is at a kind of a standstill, and you might have stopped and thought to yourself, oh, is it worth it? Do I really want this promotion? Do I deserve this promotion? That kind of thing. So it's just a little pause in movement forward, you know. The 6 of Wands, I love this, right? So here's the guy coming home successful and people behind him presumably celebrating him, right? Here, there's a woman right in front of him, and the wreath he has here, he's putting on her head. So that would say to me that when you're successful, do not forget the people that helped you get there. So that's why he's putting the wreath of success on her head, because she presumably helped him get to where he is. Okay? The 7 of Wands, which is the fella up on the hill defending himself, has had enough, and he's jumped off the hill and he's getting into a proper fight with these crowd to stop them at him. Do you know? I love that. The 8 of Wands, which is a lot of things happening at once. But as I said in the daily card earlier on, everything is moving perfectly parallel to each other. So none of them are aimed properly at anything. So I would see this one as about needing to pick one and focus on that and aiming properly at what you want. Do you know? The 9 of Wands is the guy who's worked hard and fought for where he is, but he's lacking the kind of motivation to move on and finish the job. I would also always say to persevere, whereas here he has a friend, he has someone to, I suppose, to help him along the way, to just take him that last mile to where he needs to be. And the 10 of Wands, the guy carrying all the responsibilities, has given up and he's thrown them all on the ground. So, like I would always say with this, give some of those responsibilities to someone else. Instead, he's just thrown them all on the ground. He's gotten rid of them all. So, the page. With the page here now, there's one other person in the background, so he's not on his own anymore. Here he is just admiring his wand, focused completely on it. Whereas here, he's not staring at it, and there's someone in the background, and there's bales of hay. The Knight of Wands is the same, only there is, instead of pyramids in the background, there's pyramids and a sphinx. It's more or less the same otherwise. The The Queen is being looked at from the side, and she has the, what you call it that I said, what they call the little reptile thingy, and the cat is kind of looking up at her instead of just staring at you. So that's the only difference there. And the King is holding the iguana or whatever he's called. I know I called it something different a while ago, I can't remember. Here he is in the original, whereas here he's in the guy's hand. And the King is holding the wand here, whereas he's excuse me, he's not in the after tarot. So maybe he's letting go of some of the responsibility. I think this bird is a falcon in the Ace of Swords. So instead of the crown, see here again, right? This is about not having made a decision. Here the sword is down, so it would represent having made a decision. And birds of prey are about freedom. So having made the decision, you're now free to fly. Do you know? Does that make sense? It does to me anyway. Two of Swords. Now, instead of the person holding the two swords, there is two guys in front of her holding the swords about to fight. The Three of Swords. The swords have been taken out of the heart, and the heart is being mended. Which is nice to see, I have to say. The Four of Swords. Someone is there to look after the person who's resting. Now, it's going to be impossible to see in these cards, right? But this person here in the stained glass window, okay? If you look, there's yellow around the head. It's like a halo. And there's the letters P-A-X, Pax, which is some language, I forget, for peace. So the Four of Swords is about rest and rejuvenation. So obviously peace would make sense. The Five of Swords is not all that much different. He's just holding up the sword saying, haha, I won, kind of a thing. But otherwise it's more or less the same. But again, there's a bit of indecision going on because there's a decision made and a decision not, sorry, not a decision made and a decision made, do you know? So here, well, that would be no decision made. Anyway, I don't know. The people in the Six of Swords have moved on and they've gotten to the land that they're traveling to, which is pretty nice. And you still have the little showing of the the troubled waters here and the kind of calm waters here, you know. They still show that. I like the Seven of Swords. So it's like this guy creeping off with the swords belong to someone else, presumably. He's going to get caught. He's going to hang himself. Not hang himself, obviously, literally, but, you know, the phrase, oh my God, you'll hang yourself, means kind of, you know, you'll get caught. So he's going to get caught. Okay. The Eight of Swords, again, this person has struggled to get themselves out of the mental torture they've been surrounded themselves in, and here there's someone helping getting them out. The Nine of Swords, they've decided to sit up and wield one of those 9 swords and fight their dragons. I really like that. And the 10 of Swords is totally cool. Totally cool. So there's 2 fellas taking away the body. And again, you can kind of take your own meaning from it. Page of Swords is similar. There's just some people in the background. And instead of holding the sword forward and looking back, he's looking forward with the sword. So he's obviously kind of figured out what it is he might want to do. The Knight of Swords is cool. He's fending someone off while he's charging forward. The Queen of Swords is similar, but there's a butterfly on top of her sword. Butterflies are about transformation. Not much else different in it. And the King of Swords, and you see this is a classic example now. So the old King of Swords, he's holding the sword up, and in the new one, the sword is firmly planted in the ground in front of him, so a decision has been made. And there's also a bird of prey on his arm. So we're into the cups. So the cup is on the ground, and there's a heart in the hand, and the dove is flying over the heart. So that's the differences there. The Two of Cups, this is adorable. So the couple are actually hugging. And there's a cat. I think that's beautiful. The Three of Cups is very similar. There's just a bit more merriment going on. This is the first drink. This is drink number 6. That kind of a thing, you know. The Four of Cups is cool. He's after taking the cup, but he's being very bold and he's pouring out the contents. So this guy really disregards all that he has in his life. He's really showing, what's the word? He's really taking for granted what he has and showing no respect for it, you know. This guy in the Five of Cups has turned around and he's beginning to acknowledge what's lost, and he might soon turn and see what he still has. But if you look closely in the background here, there's someone drowning. So it's, I would see it as hurry up and acknowledge what you still have before you kind of drown in all this, you know, emotional anguish that you're suffering. Do you know? The Six of Cups is very cute. So they're finished playing with the flowers and they're running off to have fun. And even simple things like this guy here in the original walking away in the background is gone further in this one, you know. I think it's cool. She thought of everything with this deck. The 7, the guy has turned around again. I actually like the 7 better now than I usually do, because I can see him. And he's chosen the jewels. He's chosen the material abundance. The 8. So the 8, the guy in the 8 has gone well away, and there's a woman picking up the cups, and you see you have the, what you call it, the wine and the poison from the Five of Cups, which is cool. The 9 of Cups, the guy, the John Travolta lookalike who looks really smug normally, is sharing his abundance in the after tarot. He's having a big feast and some guy is feeding away with him. The 10 of Cups is gorgeous. They're having a bonfire. It is so beautiful. And it's nighttime and the stars are twinkling in the sky. It's just gorgeous. The Page of Cups is adorable. The fish is after jumping out of the cup. So cute. The Knight of Cups, they have gotten to this shore in the background. So the horse is probably about to drink out of the water. He's drinking out of his cup, actually. It's quite pretty. The Queen of Cups, she's taken the lid off her cup and she's admiring the contents. And the King of Cups is pouring out the water out of his cup. What's going on in the background? The boats. There's still boats and fish in the background, yeah. So that's beautiful. Now the Ace. So we have an ace, or a scarab beetle in the Ace. The 2. They've shown the 2 of Pentacles from the back, and there's people coming in from the boat. The 3 people have finished the job in this. So they've carved this beautiful statue, which to me kind of shows the hard work he's done. It's like a statue of him, maybe as a younger boy, when he started learning and working hard. Kind of a tribute statue, you know, maybe. I don't know. 4. The 4 to me would be about letting go. And here's death after coming in to try to help him, which is pretty cool. I like it. The 5 is gorgeous. Now, I haven't quite decided what meaning I'm taking from it yet. But the 2 people here are sitting on the ground, and there's someone else here with a big bag full of stuff on their back. No, I haven't decided whether they're there to help them. It looks kind of more like they're after filling up a bag and they're taking it away, but I don't know. The 6. Now, I've always said the 6 is about not giving too much to other people, because you'll have nothing left for yourself, right? And this after tarot exactly shows that, right? Because here he's given to these 2 poor people. Here, these 2 people are moving on, and there's someone else coming along begging him for something. So it's like if you keep give, you'll have more people coming and trying to walk all over you, to take what they can get from you, you know? So this 6 of Pentacles shows that. I just got handed a big mug of tea. Woohoo! The 7 of Pentacles is awesome. So here he's assessing where he's at. He's looking at what he's grown and trying to figure out if it's been worth it and if he should change anything. Here, it's like as if he's happy with it because he's begun to harvest it. So he's taken one of the pentacles off the bush and he's walking away. So that would suggest to me that he's happy with what he's grown, you know. So that's 7. The 8, I saw someone's deck review and he wasn't quite sure about the 8, but here the guy is practicing his skill, right? Here he's putting the skill to good use and he's making something pretty with it. That's what I would see it as anyway. Do you know? The 9, lads. I love the little snail in the 9 of Pentacles. If someone does a Rider-Waite-Smith clone deck and they don't put a snail, I get very upset. So I was delighted to see this. So here's the little snail, right? Now the snail symbolism means that this sort of success and wealth and abundance doesn't happen overnight. The Pentacle suit is the slowest moving suit. So this doesn't happen overnight. She worked hard to attain everything that she has here, right? That's what that snail symbolizes, because the snail moves so slowly, it's telling you this is going to take time. Here, oh yeah, so she has a glove on here and she has a some sort of bird of prey or whatever on her hand, right? Here she's thrown the glove down, the bird is flying off, and the snail has gotten to the other side of the card. It's gone from here, roughly, to here. And now she's getting stuck in again and she's doing a bit more manual labour, which I think is fabulous. I just love the snail. I love it. So, the 10 of Pentacles. We're nearly done, lads. Only another 4 cards. So here we have the family all enjoying the wealth and abundance that they have worked for. And a few minutes later, the adults are walking off into the castle. And the child is sitting, playing with the box of coins. And the dog is there, keeping an eye on him. It's really cute. I like that 10 of Pentacles. Now, again, I'm not sure about this page of Pentacles. I'll have to figure out what it means. There's a little leprechaun in it for some reason. So I'm not quite sure. Here he's gazing adoringly at the pentacle, and here he's offering the pentacle to this person. I don't know. I have to figure out what that means. Or ask someone on Instagram who has the deck and who has the proper book The Knight of Pentacles is actually really cool. So the Knight of Pentacles, again, slowest moving suit. So the horse isn't moving at all. And there's a completely, oh, what's the word? Like, the soil is all turned and everything ready to be planted. Okay. Whereas here, he has a bit of movement going. And the field behind him is being planted. So the Knight of Pentacles will be someone very methodical, someone who needs a plan, someone needs to know where they're going, what time they're going, when they're coming back, how long they'll be there, the exact directions. There'll be someone like me, right? Whereas here, they've gotten the hang of it, what they're doing, and things are beginning to get done, you know? So the Queen of Pentacles. So instead of gazing down at her coin, she's holding it up. She's showing it off. And the rabbit that was hidden here in the corner of the card is running across the card. And last but not least, the King of Pentacles. The only difference is that there's this big bowl or whatever charging across the, I was going to say across the screen, across the card. So again, not 100% sure the meaning. I'll have to figure that out. But that's all the cards, guys. I'm not going to pick a card because I've already gone for about 36 minutes. So that's enough. This is a longer deck review just for the simple reason that I showed two together. And I wanted to kind of show the differences and stuff, you know. So that's it, guys. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think. If you have the deck, tell me. If you don't have the deck and would like the deck, tell me that. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow, lads, for a daily card. Thanks, guys. Bye.